If you're a brand founder or marketer in the e-commerce space, this video is going to be for you because I'm going to show you how we scaled a brand from 16K per month to 58K per month using our e-com profit catalyst, and how this was only one brand out of 4 other brands that we worked with this company to help achieve an average of 76% year-over-year revenue growth for these businesses combined. So let me jump into that and walk through how we did it. So this brand came on board with us at Dunk in May of 2024. This particular brand saw 139% year-over-year revenue growth, and we took them from 16K per month to 58K per month. And why you might not be seeing this growth within your business is typically 3 key reasons. You're not running enough creative, you have a lack of strategy and demand planning, and you have a poor ad account structure that will not actually allow your business to scale and actually impact the top line revenue for your business's growth. Now, what we do here whenever we take on a new brand here at Dunk Agency is we insert our profit-driven creative framework. And what we see a lot of brands who are spending money on Meta or TikTok is they simply do not produce enough creatives to actually scale their ad account. And here's an example of a concept that we developed for a brand that is different to this testimonial that I'm talking you through. But this is an example of how we produce more than enough creative for the brands that we work with. So this is a concept promoting a $10 oil trio, which is designed to acquire new customers for the business. And it is meant to be used sporadically throughout the year. And what we do is, when we're coming up with concepts, what brands typically struggle to do when they're working with agencies or their internal team is they develop the audience, the angle, and the offer, and they come up with the concept. And then what happens is they run one ad or asset for that particular concept. And what happens is they run the asset, the ad goes, it does not perform, and they go, cool, that concept, whether it's a new product launch or maybe it's targeting a new audience, doesn't work, we're not going to run that again. And what we do here at Dunk is we go, okay, let's run 3 different assets for that concept and really validate whether the combination of that concept does not work, or whether that particular asset that we uploaded into the ad account is just not a great asset and it doesn't hit KPI, and therefore we have to turn it off. And that's where we see a lot of brands going wrong, is they stop at the concept. So they would just create one ad, run that ad, it does not work, turn it off, and then not giving the concept enough legs to prove its worth in the actual ad account. The second thing is the lack of strategy and demand planning. So whenever we take on a brand here at Dunk Agency, we develop what we call a 60-day growth and game plan. And this is, within the first 60 days, we outline what the marketing calendar needs to look like to achieve their revenue projections for the next 2 months. And we build this out rolling every 2 months. But what we do is we align the marketing calendar to these goals to ensure that if they are trying to achieve, let's say 100K per month, which is a 10% growth on the previous year, that particular month has the same activations or similar activations to make sure we can achieve that goal. And here's a really great example of it. If in November of 2024, you did $1 million in sales and you ran a Black Friday sale. If in November of 2025, you were trying to achieve 1,100,000 in revenue, where a lot of brands go wrong is that they won't actually look into the marketing calendar to see what events occurred during that period. So it'd be like in 2025, you're trying to hit 1.1 million in November, but you're not going to run a Black Friday sale. Your results would be heavily skewed by the fact that you ran a Black Friday sale in 2024, and therefore making sure that you, your internal team, or your external agency is aligning your marketing calendar to the financial outcomes of the business is crucial in seeing success and revenue growth for your projections for that year. So that's the next thing we do, is we build out these marketing and financial projections to ensure that the activations in the calendar align with the revenue targets that we're trying to achieve. And lastly, Poor ad account structure is one of the simplest changes that any brand can make and directly impact the performance of their Shopify revenue. And there's 2 to 3 main things that we do whenever we look into an account. The first thing is we actually track the distribution of ad dollars to specific audiences. So many brands aren't aware of how much money they're wasting on existing customers and getting their ads in front of these audiences, and that not having an incremental impact to their top line revenue performance. So what we do is we want to make sure whenever we look at an account that we're spending 5, maximum 10% of the overall monthly budget to that desired audience to ensure that 90 to 95% of the budget is going towards acquiring new customers for the business. And you can see that here. If you go into your columns, you can segment by audience segments and really determine how much of your budget might be being wasted towards any given audience. Then the next thing we do is we don't treat all products equally. We actually define the gross profit margins and the profit for each product collection as close as we relatively can. And then what we do is we use cost caps to determine what is the maximum amount that we would want to spend on a customer who should typically, from that ad, buy that desired product. And this allows us to not only reach certain goals, whether it be daily spend goals or daily revenue goals, but also ensure that we're not setting account-wide acquisition targets, and that we can be specific when we are promoting a specific product or collection, that the profit for that particular collection, bundle, whatever it might be, is being aligned with how much we can actually spend in getting those customers for that particular order through the door. And we see a lot of brands not using cost caps within their ad accounts. And here's just a really great example. This bottom campaign here has a cost cap of $40, and you can see that the cost per purchase is around about $23, where this product here didn't have one because it was pushing higher valued, $200 plus bundles for this particular brand. And we've worked with many different brands using this exact same system. Here's just a few different examples from the last 2 years of brands that we've helped achieve revenue growth. But I just wanted to share this Ecom Profit Catalyst and that little testimonial of the brand that we worked with last year that we implemented this exact system for, that saw phenomenal growth, so that you can get some takeaways and implement some of these tactics into your business. Or if you would like, you can reach out to us and we can implement this into your business in 2025.